The men today have a testosterone on average 40% lower than their grandparents did. And there are many reasons why this is the case. But today I want to break down into 4 sections how you can improve your testosterone today. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. And yeah, it's pretty simple. So let me break it down. The first thing you need to be focusing on, which is pretty obvious to some people, it's your diet. Now, the modern diet today is processed foods, seed oils, endocrine disruptors, emulsifiers, a bunch of stuff you don't even know what it does, right? The food lowers testosterone by interrupting and interfering with your endocrine system, which is the system that produces testosterone. And by demonizing specific things, they're able to get you to, opt for food that you think is healthy but isn't. So the first thing that they like to demonize is cholesterol. Cholesterol is the building block of testosterone. Without it, you can't get it. You can't get high testosterone. And you're going to get cholesterol from healthy fats, things like eggs, steak, fish, dairy. This is where the majority of your cholesterol should be coming from. Now, there's 2 types. You have LDL and HDL. They're going to tell you having high testosterone is a health risk and you're going to get heart disease. It's like, no. If you're getting cholesterol from healthy sources, not from fried processed food, but from eggs, steak, fish, omega fats and dairy, ideally raw milk, raw cheese, things of that nature, you're going to have a higher testosterone level because you've got more cholesterol. Now, another thing that you need to focus on that a lot of people don't is micronutrients. Now, everyone says today, if it fits your macros, and some of you have probably heard this, you can eat it if it fits your macros. And the problem with that is you can get KFC to fit your macros, you can get McDonald's to fit your macros, you can get pretty much anything to fit your macros. It's like saying, I'm a vegan, but you're only eat Oreo biscuits. Just because they're vegan doesn't mean they're good. Micronutrients, you need to focus on foods that have dense micronutrients. You're going to get things from like minced beef, right? Has a higher nutrient profile than, say, chicken. You're going to get salmon, which has a higher micronutrients profile than, say, fish fingers, right? So you want to be going for quality foods that have high micronutrients. You want to avoid foods that are just empty. For example, what people think is really healthy is greens. And I made a whole video on Instagram explaining why greens basically don't need to be consumed. They're basically poisonous. Long story short, they're poisonous. This is why you don't like the taste of them. But you want to be getting foods that actually have nutrients. So instead of going for vegetables and the greens that you think, things like sweet potatoes, they're incredibly satiating. And they have vitamin K, vitamin A as well. And they have a better micronutrient profile than normal potatoes, and they're sweeter. So for me, it's always sweet potatoes, carrots. These are the sorts of greens I'm going for, even though they're not green. I wouldn't go for typical stuff, right? You want to be getting micronutrients from a single ingredient food. That is the key, right? Single ingredient. Not stuff that's laced with maize and starch and all sorts of emulsifiers and preservatives. Single ingredient. And if you focus on these 2 things, getting healthy cholesterol from healthy fats and picking foods that's got lots of micronutrients over ones that don't, you are going to have the ability to create more testosterone. And the second thing I want to go into, all right, this is just surface level. If you want to get a more detailed breakdown, and I can break down these things individually and go into very, very deep detail, but this is just a surface level. The second thing is going to be training. And with this, there's 2 things people do wrong. Number 1, weight training. Let's just do weights for now. Weights and cardio. People are under the impression that if they push heavy weights, they're going to become the Hulk, right? I've been training with heavy weights for the last 8 years, and I still think I'm small. So you want to approach weightlifting with low volume, high or heavy weights. And the reason we choose this is because it's actually going to create a stimulus called mechanical tension that is going to grow your muscle. And we know that with higher amounts of muscle on a frame, you naturally have higher testosterone levels. So you could fuck this bit up, have loads of muscle, and technically sway your testosterone to a high level. So you want to make sure that you're doing low volume. So that means training in the lower rep ranges, anywhere from, I'd say, 4 to 12 reps is ideal. You don't really want to go lower than 4 because then you're training strength. But ideally between that 4 to 12 range. And you want to make sure that you are failing, or at least reaching close to failure, on the majority of your sets. And that's going to allow you to create the stimulus to actually build muscle. So yes, heavy training is going to build muscle, going to increase testosterone. So that's it when it comes to training with weights. Now, cardio is something special. Everyone thinks that, running is healthy and cycling is healthy and swimming and all these things that are long term and long distance are healthy. They're not. You actually want to make sure that your cardio is in a special zone called zone 2. And that's around, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's around 120 beats per minute on your heart rate. It's all to do with your heart rate, right? You don't want your heart rate to go too high, because high heart rate, let's say high heart rate equals more cortisol. When you have a higher level of cortisol, this is the stress hormone, right? The one you get when you panic or when your heart rate is elevated and you're stressed. This is going to decrease testosterone, and that is not what you want. You want to basically make sure that as many things decreasing testosterone are gotten rid of, and as many things that are increasing testosterone are incorporated. And if you are stressing your body because you're running, thinking that you're going to lose weight, you are not. When you have higher levels of cortisol, you also become anabolic, right? Not anabolic, sorry, catabolic, the opposite of anabolic. You start to burn muscle, right? And if you're doing all this weight training and then killing the progress with cardio, it's like you're fighting a losing battle. So you want to make sure that zone 2 cardio comes from things like walking. So hitting 10K steps a day is ideal. Of course, if you're in an office and some things aren't like they're not in your realm of possibility, you can't do anything about it. But you can do walking where you can. You can get in as many steps as you can in a day. Post meal is very good as well. This is going to reduce cortisol, right? So very important that you do that, and you don't be pushing, these long distance runs that puts your body under stress and causes more problems than it solves. That's it with training. Very simple. Heavy weights, zone 2 cardio. The third area that you can increase testosterone with, which is, everyone says underrated, and everyone knows this, right? But yet they don't do it. And it's sleep. You got to see this sleep like the refueling of a car. You can do all the driving, right? You can do all the controlling of the car, changing all the gears, pressing the clutch. But if you don't put fuel in that car, it's not going to be running properly. And it has to be good quality fuel. So the standard 8 hours per night is optimal. 7 is minimal, right? If you're going below 7 towards the 6 hours, you're going to start to have actual traceable drops in testosterone. I think they did a study where just 1 week of sleep less than 6 hours has a very significant impact on your testosterone production. So you want to make sure that you're getting 8 hours of quality sleep. Now, everyone says quality sleep, but no one defines what quality sleep is. Quality sleep is REM, rapid eye movement sleep. And these are the ways in which you can actually ensure that you're getting quality sleep. And it's going to be, your timing is number 1. There's a couple of things. So there's timing. Going to sleep and waking up at the same time every single day, or within an hour period, say, because life does happen. Timing is incredibly important. Your body's going to know to go to sleep, and it's going to start to get tired around the same time every day. And you're also going to get energized at the same time every day. So if you're someone who wakes up in the morning and you're like, oh, I can't get out of bed, no more. If you're someone who has to use an alarm to get out of bed, no more. Make sure you're sleeping at the same time every day and waking up at the same time every day. That's going to be aligned. The next thing to promote quality is going to be sunlight. Now, for some people, like myself, sunlight is very hard to get. And the reason it's hard to get is, I live in the UK. It's not very sunny. So the reason why you want sunlight is it tells your body it's daytime, I'm awake, let's get things moving. Testosterone, hormones start running, things increase in production. And again, as well, with sunlight, you get melatonin releases. Yes, melatonin is a hormone that is released when you go to sleep. And it's what aids sleep. That's why some people take melatonin tablets in order to have a better night's sleep. So by getting direct sunlight into your eyes, not sun gazing at the peak level of sun, but just getting sunlight into your face, into your eyes, is going to signal to your body it's daytime, you release testosterone, but also in the evening, it's going to tell your body, hey, it's evening time, let's start to produce some melatonin so he has an easier access to sleep, right? So you get melatonin. But additionally with sunlight, right? I know it's not really linked to sleep, but additionally with sunlight, you get vitamin D. And vitamin D, like cholesterol, is a building block of testosterone. And when you have vitamin D production along with good sleep, your testosterone is going to be skyrocketing. This here, sleep, has more of an impact than training and diet, right? So don't sleep on sleep. The fourth and final area, which people fuck up with, and I don't know what to title this, but I'm going to title it 2 things. Porn / dopamine. This is going to kill your testosterone and your drive like nothing else. Why? Let's say you are horny, like a man should be, right? You crave this feeling, this satisfaction, right? You crave satisfaction. Right? Now, the thing with having high testosterone, having testosterone in the first place, is that doing something difficult feels good, right? You get a reward from it, a dopamine reward. But you only get that when you have high testosterone. If you masturbate and then try and do something hard, it's going to feel like shit. You have killed your drive. So why the fuck are you going to want to go to the gym, eat healthy, if you've just killed and released all of your drive, right? How are you going to go and better yourself and feel better about yourself if you've just had a wank? It doesn't make sense, does it? You guys know how it feels post-nut, right? You get the post-nut clarity that I shouldn't have done this is bad, I don't feel good, right? And it directly kills your testosterone. That is why these no-fap guys, these guys who abstain from masturbation, realize their energy levels straight away change. So the quicker you can kill this, yeah, you are going to have an immediate effect on your energy, the immediate effect on your drive, and you're just going to feel better, right? So, don't have to add the extra point there. You are going to feel better. Eliminate it, right? If you actually want to get some sort of satisfaction, go do something hard. And if you're really that fucking horny, work yourself into a point where you're attracting good quality girls and you don't have to fucking sit there jerking it off, right? It's gay. It's very gay to watch another man fuck a girl you like. It's weird. So, when you lock in on the diet, you lock in on the training, you lock in on this, you lock in on this, all of these 4, there is no way, it is impossible that you will not see results in testosterone and it will increase. But yeah, if you have any more questions about these specific things, I'm going to make detailed videos on each of them across the next few weeks. So an entire hour section on diet, an entire hour section on training, sleep, porn, and dopamine and stuff like that. If you have any questions though, don't hesitate to DM me. I'm happy to help out anyone who wants support. And of course, if you're interested in a coaching offer, DM me the word alpha so I know that's what you're interested in, and we can have a discussion about that. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe and follow this shit to get some high testosterone.
Nice, bro.